Before we get started, I just wanted to say sorry that I haven't been posting as many videos over the last little while. If you've been following me, you'll know I live here in the Fraser Valley, just outside of Vancouver. And with FIFA World Cup being hosted here, I've been soaking up the incredible atmosphere with my family. The city has been absolutely buzzing, and we've been making the most of a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But it's almost over, which means I'm getting back into the bee yard and back to making regular videos for you all. And today's topic is something every beekeeper will eventually experience: a nectar dearth. If you've ever opened your hive and thought, why have my bees suddenly become so grumpy? They've stopped filling the honey supers, they're fighting at the entrance. Why does everything seem to have changed overnight? There's a good chance you're experiencing a dearth. So, what exactly is a dearth? Simply put, a dearth is a period when bees can no longer find enough nectar in the environment. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean there are no flowers blooming. It simply means those flowers aren't producing enough nectar for the bees to make a surplus. Maybe it's become too hot. Maybe it's too dry. Or maybe the major nectar producing plants have simply finished flowering for the season. Whatever the reason, the bees notice immediately. During a strong nectar flow, your colony is incredibly relaxed. They're bringing nectar home all day long. They're drawing beautiful white comb. The honey supers are getting heavier every week. The queen has plenty of room to lay. Everything feels calm, but when the nectar stops, everything changes. The colony switches from growth mode to survival mode. You'll often notice bees becoming much more defensive. Guard bees become extra alert. Robbing between colonies becomes much more common. Wasps suddenly start showing up around the hives. Honey production slows dramatically. And if the dearth lasts long enough, the bees will begin eating the honey they've already stored. So what should you do if a dearth arrives? First, check your food stores. Don't just assume because it's summer that your bees have enough food. Lift the back of the hive. Look at the honey frames. Make sure they're not running dangerously low. Second, reduce the hive entrance if robbing starts. A smaller entrance is much easier for the guard bees to defend. Third, avoid exposing honey or syrup during inspections. Even a few drops of honey can trigger robbing when food is scarce. Fourth, keep inspections short. The less time the hive is open, the less chance robbers have of discovering it. And finally, if a colony genuinely doesn't have enough food, don't be afraid to feed them. Feeding isn't about the calendar. It's about what your bees actually need. Now, here's something important if you're watching from the Fraser Valley here in British Columbia. At the time I'm filming this, we're in early July. And where I am, we are not in a dearth. In fact, the bees are still bringing in nectar every single day. The honey supers are continuing to fill. The colonies are still expanding. Everything still points to a healthy nectar flow. Around here, a true dearth usually doesn't arrive until later in the summer, often toward the end of July or into August, once blackberry clover and many other major nectar sources begin to finish, and the weather becomes hotter and drier. Of course, every neighborhood is different. One beekeeper may experience a dearth weeks before another, depending on local forage. That's why I always say, don't manage your bees by the calendar. Manage them by what the bees are telling you. Watch the entrance. Watch the supers. Watch how much nectar they're bringing in. Watch their behavior. The bees will tell you exactly what's happening outside long before any calendar does. The dearth isn't something to fear. It's simply another season in the life of a beekeeper. If you're prepared, your bees will come through it just fine. And over the next few weeks, as our season progresses here in the Fraser Valley, I'll be showing you exactly what changes I'm seeing in my own hives, what I'm doing to prepare for the end of the nectar flow, and how to keep strong, healthy colonies heading into late summer. So if you don't want to miss that, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.